I'm Culture-Torial and I'm from London, and today I'm doing a Culture-Torial with Ctzn Cosmetics, and I'm going to be showing you how to achieve this look. So I've already put on a bit of brown eyeshadow, brownie gold, and just a simple flick liner. I always love a flick, it's my go-to because just feel like it really lifts the eyes. Like if I don't have it, my eyes just kind of look a bit droopy, I always find. Then once I've done my eyes, I move on to the base. I put a bit of primer on first. So I grew up in a part of West London, which is called Ladbroke Grove, which now is really gentrified and pretty, but it wasn't when I grew up. It was actually quite rough. Some would have called it ghetto, but it was amazing. And I grew up just off a little street called Latimer Road. I'd say that it's definitely, Ladbroke Grove has had a big influence on my culture and who I am and what I stand for. It was quite tough at times growing up in that type of area and still trying to remain true to myself and true to my identity. I've worn makeup since I was about 14, and originally I used makeup when I would go out and like go to clubs with friends and stuff. Yes, I was clubbing at 14. And it was kind of more of an armor to me. I kind of love the fact that I could use makeup to kind of turn into anybody I wanted to be, really. I could be anyone I wanted to be. I love the way that it transformed me. So obviously, a young 14-year-old boy walking around Ladbroke Grove, which then was quite rough, in a full face of makeup, didn't really go down very well with a few people. But to be honest, I wouldn't change any of that part of my life because it's made me the strong person that I am today. When I was growing up, there wasn't really anyone in the mainstream at the time that I really would look up to, so that I felt like I could relate to. One of the people that I really fell in love with was David Bowie. Obviously him being British as well, just really resonated with me, and like he used makeup as an art form to portray his art and who he wanted to be, and that just really, really inspired me. A, to be myself, and B, just to like not give a shit about other people's opinions and what people thought of me. Growing up in London, I was actually quite fortunate, as you know, it is so multicultural, and especially West London, Portobello, Ladbroke Grove is so diverse with different cultures and stuff, and I feel like all of that had an impact on who I am today and, you know, who I was growing up. And you know, I'm from a mixed cultured background. My mum is Asian and Jamaican, and my dad is Scottish, so kind of growing up with both of those cultures in the beginning of my life was like different. It was different to all of my friends, and it was different to the people that lived next door, the people that lived downstairs. Like everyone around me was different. It was all different families. When I got into my, I'd say, mid primary school years, my family unit broke down and I ended up going into the care system, which then, you know, brought even more culture to my life because I was living with kids of all different races, of all different creeds, of all different cultures, you know. That just added to me. I was adopted by a wonderful Colombian lady when I was 13, and then I, you know, grew up with her culture and the Colombian culture, and her speaking Spanish to me, and I learned Spanish, and I feel like all of that really has a lot to do with the colours that I like, the food that I like. Like I'm so outgoing when it comes to experiencing new cultures. I think it's really important to experience different types of cultures and travel the world and really live life to the fullest. One thing I love the most about London is our red buses and our red telephone boxes and our red post boxes. I just feel like London is so beautiful. The architecture is stunning. The diversity we have here is stunning. I'm still really, really hopeful about the future, and I think the younger generation that we have in London that are coming through now are so inspiring. They're so inspiring with their fashion, they're so inspiring with their visions, with their thoughts. I really feel like the LGBTQIA community is on the up. We're now being respected, we're now being like represented well on television, within fashion. I just am really hopeful for the future of London, to be honest. So one thing I also love about the UK particularly is the festivals. Like, I love Glastonbury. Like, I actually think it's like heaven on earth. Like, it's so exciting. I've just always had the best times at Glastonbury Festival. I think we're kind of renowned in the UK for having good festivals. Like, we have Love Box, which is amazing. We have like Wireless, we have like Party in the Park. Like, we have so much stuff. I think British music is really, really, really where it's at, to be honest. I think we're so inspiring when it comes to music. Like, the UK garage scene and the UK grime scene at the moment is like literally amazing. I grew up listening to garage music, so I'm so happy to see it making a comeback into society. I remember one time I was, again, underage and in a club, but I was in a straight club, and I was with my best friend Nikesha, and this guy came up to me. This is like when I was probably about 15, and I used to wear makeup all the time and used to have like lashes, and I was just very effeminate for a boy. And this guy obviously assumed that I was a girl, and he came up to me and he was trying to, what in the UK we call chirp sing. So like chirp sing is like chatting up. So he was like trying to chirps me. I think it took him about 5 minutes to realize that like I was a guy and not a girl. And he just, the look on his face, like the blood drained out of his face, and then he turned around and got angry, and then had tried to fight me. And he came over and he's been really aggressive, and he was like, "Oh, you're trying to trick man, you're trying to trick man." And like that in like UK slang is like, man is like trying to trick me. He was like trying to dress like a yatty. Yatty is another British terminology for girl. And so I was like, I'm not trying to trick anyone, I'm just living my truth, I'm just trying to be myself. And literally out of nowhere, my best friend just like came flying and pushed him out the way like the Incredible Hulk. And I remember we just ran down the road in hysterics away from him. It was what could have been a quite scary situation, but I mean, it was just, I think I definitely have a lot to thank my friends for. I think they've had a lot to do with the person that I am today, because they've always been very accepting and very supportive in helping me grow into the person that I am today. You know, I've never had a friend in my life that was like, "Oh, don't wear that," or "You can't be like that." You know, I received that from the outside world. So like when I was with my friends, it was all very positive and very supportive. So I'm gonna do my lips now using Ctzn Lipstroke in Deux. Such a gorgeous color. With my lips, I like bigger lips, so I always just kind of exaggerate my lip line, and I always do it on like the outside to my lip. And it's quite great because this color is very, very similar to my natural color. Done that. I'm now using Ctzn Cosmetics NUDIVERSAL Lip Duo in number 8, Dubrovnik, which is my shade if you've seen the campaign. So I always just start with the lipstick first. And this is one thing that I really love about Ctzns, is that, you know, this is genderless makeup. Like, you're welcome to use it and it will look amazing on you. Usually get a tiny bit of the gloss side, and then I just put it on the center and just rub it through. And you don't need a lot of this because it's really moisture rich. So then, what I like to do as well, I'm using the Ctzn Glow Balm in the Pearl. I like to get a little bit of this, actually the tiniest bit. I rub it in between these two fingers, and I just do this weird kind of pat. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's like so glowing. I follow it up to the brow bone. I literally need such a tiny bit because this stuff really does go a long way and lasts. Then I like to put a little bit down my nose, a little tap on the forehead. And this, if you're not really into the pearl tone, this also comes in a clear. And then if you're feeling really adventurous, which I like to do, I get like a tiny bit of gold illuminator, and I just add that into the pearl for that extra added shine. And there you have it. A full face